Sometimes the soul is tired long before the body admits it. You may not have words for it, but something inside you feels heavy, not pain exactly, more like a quiet weight that has been carried for too long. And perhaps that is why you are here, not by accident, not by coincidence. Ibn Arabi once said that nothing truly happens by chance. Everything arrives by permission, even moments like this. You may have wondered quietly, without ever asking aloud, why do I feel peace in certain homes, but restlessness in others? Why does my heart soften in some places for no clear reason? Could angels truly be present around us? These questions come from the soul, not the mind, and the soul only asks when it is being called. Many people imagine angels as distant beings, far from daily life. But the masters of the heart taught something different. They said angels walk gently among ordinary moments. When someone opens the Qur'an with sincerity, when a heart remembers Allah without being seen, when mercy quietly fills a room without anyone speaking. A home does not become blessed because it is perfect. It becomes blessed because sincerity lives there. You see, angels are not drawn to perfection. They are drawn to truthfulness. A home where someone turns to Allah, even tired, even broken, even uncertain, becomes a place of divine attention. Ibn Arabi taught that when remembrance is sincere, the unseen responds, not loudly, not dramatically, but gently, like a calm presence that settles into the air. You may not see it, but you feel it. A calm that enters without reason, a heaviness that lifts without explanation, a softness that settles in the chest. This is not imagination. This is mercy moving quietly. Angels do not only visit mosques or sacred places, they visit hearts that turn toward Allah, even briefly. When someone recites a few verses of Qur'an before sleeping, or whispers, Ya Allah, while overwhelmed, or pauses for a moment of gratitude, the atmosphere changes. Not because of the action itself, but because of the sincerity behind it. The Prophet ﷺ taught that angels are drawn to remembrance, and they leave places filled with heedlessness and cruelty. Where Allah is remembered, peace descends. And peace is not always loud. Sometimes it arrives as calm breathing, sometimes as relief without explanation, sometimes as strength to endure another day. You may think, but my home is ordinary, my life is messy. Yet Allah does not wait for perfection. He waits for honesty. Ibn Arabi wrote that when the heart turns toward Allah, even for a moment, that moment becomes sacred beyond time. This is why some homes feel lighter, why some rooms feel calm even without decoration or luxury, why some places carry peace even when struggles exist within them. Because angels respond to intention, not appearance. And here is something many people overlook. When you make a quiet dua for someone else, not to be seen, not to be praised, an angel responds on your behalf. Not only does the prayer rise, but something returns with it. The Prophet ﷺ said that when you pray for another in their absence, an angel says, Ameen, and the same for you. Imagine that, an angel responding to your whisper. This is how homes become sanctuaries, not through perfection, but through compassion, through quiet sincerity, through hearts that remember Allah even while struggling. And sometimes Allah protects a home not by removing hardship, but by preventing harm you never see. A decision delayed, a word unsaid, a step held back. You call it coincidence, but the heart knows better. Ibn Arabi taught that divine protection often arrives disguised as interruption, a missed moment, a closed door, a pause that saves you from harm. These are not accidents, they are signs of care. When angels surround a home, they do not make noise. They soften outcomes. They bend moments away from harm. They guard what cannot be seen. And this protection does not require perfection, only sincerity. If you feel that something invisible has been protecting you, if you sense that even in chaos, something unseen has held you together, then pause. That awareness itself is a sign, and this is only the beginning. In the next part, we will speak about how angels remain, how sincerity deepens, and why certain homes become places where mercy quietly stays. For now, just breathe. You are not alone. You never were. One of the great misunderstandings people carry is this. They think angels only come when a person becomes perfect. But the friends of Allah knew something different. Ibn Arabi teaches that divine presence does not wait for perfection. It responds to turning. Even the smallest turning of the heart toward Allah invites immense mercy. That is why sincere effort matters more than flawlessness. You do not have to be pure to be protected. You only need to be honest. When a servant sincerely tries, even while struggling, the unseen begins to move. There is a moment many people overlook, a quiet moment when the heart leans toward Allah, even slightly. That moment carries weight in the unseen world. One of the signs that angels are near is when prayer begins to feel gentle rather than heavy. Not long prayers, not perfect words, but simple moments of sincerity. A few rak'ahs offered late at night, a quiet whisper of Ya Allah before sleep, a short prayer spoken with humility after a tiring day. This is not weakness, this is closeness. Ibn Arabi said that true worship is not measured by movement, but by presence. When the heart turns toward Allah, even briefly, the veil thins. Angels gather not because of length, but because of sincerity. And when that happens, something subtle changes. The space feels lighter. The chest breathes more easily. The heart becomes aware, not loudly, but gently, that it is not alone. This is not imagination. It is spiritual awareness awakening. Prayer offered with sincerity creates a kind of spiritual shelter, a place where confusion quiets and clarity begins to form. You may notice that decisions become easier. Your reactions soften. You respond instead of reacting. These are not coincidences. Ibn Arabi taught that when the heart aligns with truth, the unseen aligns around it. Angels move by Allah's command, not randomly, and they assist where sincerity lives. This is why sometimes you feel protected without knowing how. Now listen closely. Another sign that angels are near is something many misunderstand. It is when sin begins to feel heavy before it happens. Before, perhaps a wrong action felt easy. There was no resistance, no inner discomfort. But now something has changed. You pause, you hesitate, your heart tightens slightly, not after the mistake, but before it. This hesitation is not weakness, it is guidance. Angels do not shout, they nudge. They do not force, they remind. Ibn Arabi wrote that when the heart begins to awaken, it no longer rushes blindly toward desire. It becomes aware of consequences before action. That uncomfortable feeling you sense, that quiet resistance inside, it is mercy arriving early. Many people mistake this for anxiety or confusion, but in truth, it is protection. When desire begins to lose its sweetness, when temptation feels hollow, this is not loss. It is elevation. The heart is being taught to recognize what harms it. This is how Allah guards His servants, not always by removing trials, but by weakening their grip. You may notice that things which once excited you now feel empty. Conversations you once enjoyed no longer satisfy. paths you once walked now feel heavy. This is not boredom. This is awakening. Your soul is being gently pulled away from what dims it. And this, too, is the work of angels. They do not appear with wings. They work silently, reshaping your inclinations, guiding your choices, softening your inner resistance. Now listen carefully. Another sign of divine presence appears in daily life in the simplest ways. Tasks that once felt heavy suddenly feel lighter. Moments that used to overwhelm become manageable. Solutions appear without effort. Help comes from unexpected places, not dramatic miracles, but quiet ease. Ibn Arabi explained that divine assistance rarely arrives with noise. It flows like water into the cracks of difficulty. You may still struggle, but you are no longer crushed. Your burdens do not disappear, but your strength increases. This is mercy. When provision arrives gently, when patience replaces panic, when clarity replaces confusion. These are not random improvements. They are signs that Allah is arranging unseen support around you. Angels carry out His will silently, easing pathways, opening hearts, softening moments. You may feel that life is still difficult, and that is true. But notice how you are no longer drowning. This is how divine care works. It does not remove the sea. It teaches you how to float. And when this begins to happen, it is a sign that your home, your inner home, is being visited. The presence of angels does not mean life becomes easy. It means life becomes meaningful. It means you are not alone in your struggle. And this journey is far from over. Because the deepest sign, the one most people miss, is still to come. In the next part, we will speak about the moment the heart truly awakens and how Allah transforms a servant from within, quietly, gently, and forever. There comes a moment in a person's life, quiet, almost unnoticeable, when the heart begins to release what once weighed it down. Not because life suddenly becomes easy, but because the soul has grown strong enough to let go. This is one of the clearest signs that angels are near. It does not arrive with noise. It does not announce itself. It comes like a soft breath within the chest. You slowly stop holding on to things that once pulled you away from Allah. Not because someone forced you, not because you were afraid, but because your heart no longer finds peace in them. Ibn Arabi taught that when the heart begins to awaken, it naturally moves away from what veils it. Just as the eye turns away from darkness when light appears, the soul retreats from what harms it when divine awareness awakens. This is not loss. This is purification. Sometimes it shows itself in small ways. You no longer feel drawn to certain conversations. Certain habits quietly fall away. Some attachments loosen without struggle. Nothing dramatic happens, and yet everything changes. You begin to breathe differently. Your thoughts soften. Your heart feels lighter, even if your life still carries weight. This is not coincidence. This is mercy. The angels do not come to impress. They come to restore balance. They come when a person begins choosing Allah over desire, even in small ways. They come when the heart quietly says, I want you more than I want this world. Ibn Arabi taught that true transformation does not arrive with force. It arrives with recognition, when the soul remembers where it truly belongs. This is why change often begins with letting go. Letting go of habits that harden the heart. Letting go of attachments that drain the soul. Letting go of identities that were never truly yours. And in their place, Allah places something lighter, something cleaner, something that brings peace without effort. This is how divine protection works. It does not always stop hardship, but it changes how hardship touches you. You may still face difficulties, but they no longer break you. You may still struggle, but you are not shaken to your core. You carry a quiet certainty inside, a knowing that you are not abandoned. This is one of the greatest gifts Allah gives His servants: inner steadiness. When a person reaches this state, even small blessings feel meaningful. A calm breath, a moment of clarity, a sense of safety that cannot be explained. These are not accidents. Ibn Arabi said that when Allah loves a servant, He places tranquility in their heart before He changes their circumstances. And when tranquility enters, angels draw near. They surround the believer not to glorify them, but to protect the work Allah is doing inside their soul. This is why peace begins quietly. It whispers before it speaks. It settles before it shines. If today you feel calmer than you once were, even slightly, if your heart feels softer, if your reactions have slowed, if your pain no longer controls you, then something sacred is happening. You are being guided, not loudly, not forcefully, but lovingly. This is the mercy of Allah in action. And know this, not everyone is given this gift. Some people search their entire lives and never taste this stillness. Others receive it quietly without realizing what it is. If your heart is changing, even slowly, it is because Allah has looked at you with kindness. The Prophet said that when Allah loves a servant, He calls Jibril and says, "I love this servant, so love him." And then love is placed for that servant among the creation. That love begins in the unseen. It begins in the heart. It begins in moments like this. So if something within you feels lighter right now, if your chest feels a little more open, if your breath feels softer, then pause. You are standing in mercy. And now, gently, without force, without pressure, whisper in your heart, "O Allah, place my life under the shade of your mercy." Say it slowly, not with your tongue, with your being. And if you wish, write it as well, not for others, not for recognition, but as a quiet agreement between your heart and your Lord. Because when a servant turns toward Allah, even slightly, Allah turns toward them completely. May your home be filled with peace. May your heart be guarded. May angels walk beside you in ways you may never see, but always feel. And may Allah keep your soul in His care, now and always. Ameen.